Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Just making sure. Actually, are you responsible for the fire department social media?
That depends.
You're like, I love how clever you are with it. It's fun. It's really fun. Yeah, and people are responding well to it.
Yes.
Yeah, well done.
Yes, for the most part.
Jason says mostly. There are some exceptions.
There are some.
Do you watch my boss or something? Boss's Day?
Oh, yeah.
That was,
You do have that.
Wait, what? Which one is that one?
There was a trend going around that you would walk into your boss's office with your phone and you would say, will you watch my boss first? I can't leave the phone and then leave the room. So I did it with Chief. And he was Chief. He loved it. I'll show it to you.
Oh, come on, Jason and Joe. Like
You gotta use it.
Alrighty. Good morning, everyone, especially to our residents on this happy, cold, and snowy Friday. So we're in the month of January, and what I love about January is that it just has a way of pressing the reset button. It invites us to pause and take an honest look at where we're at and to set clear priorities for the year. And that's what this press briefing is about. So every year I choose a word of the year, a call to action that helps anchor our work on behalf of the 500,000 people that call Colorado Springs home. And for 2026, our organizational word for the year is focus. With limited resources, we must stay focused on what matters most. And I'm calling this the fundamentals of city government. You see, there will always be new ideas and big initiatives and big vision items that truly matter, but none of them work if we don't get the basics right first. The fundamentals of city government are not glamorous, but they are essential. And at the very top of that list is public safety. That is reliable, responsive, and trusted. Streets and infrastructure that work the way that they should. Clean neighborhoods and public spaces, city services that are accessible, consistent, and fair, and a city government that is competent, accountable, and focused. At the end of the day, our focus is going to be prioritizing wisely on the fundamentals and being honest about what we can deliver and telling our story more clearly to the public. My administration is focused on 18 action items this year that are part of our annual contract with the community, what we call strategic doing, because the emphasis is not just on planning, it's about getting things done. The 2026 strategic doing list reflects the city's highest priority action items across our 5 strategic pillars of public safety, infrastructure, housing and homelessness, economic vitality, and community activation. This list of 18 items is they're not exhaustive, but they are designed to provide, to deliver visible and measurable progress. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to give you all 18. You can find that at our city website at coloradosprings.gov, but I do want to highlight 6 priorities that I do believe our residents will feel the greatest impact in their day-to-day lives. So number 1, it's a focus on faster emergency response times. When you call 911, you deserve a fast response. In 2025, we made meaningful progress, improving our response time for our highest priority emergencies from 15 minutes to 11 minutes. In 2026, we're gonna stay focused on building a safer Colorado Springs by continuing to reduce response time through improvements in technology, staffing, call processing, and resource management. Number 2, a focus on dependable street maintenance, including potholes. If you've lived here long enough, you know that our weather, especially winter, can be hard on our roads. Taking care of what we have and taking care of it well is one of the clearest priorities we hear from our residents. This year, we will be focused on improving how we maintain our streets, updating policies and procedures to ensure potholes are repaired quickly, effectively, and durably. And as a reminder, the street maintenance team that the street maintenance team that takes care of our streets are the same team members that plow our roads during the winter storm. And that group filled 75,000 potholes last year. Number 3, a focus on safer roads through integrated traffic safety program. We cannot and we will not accept traffic death and serious injuries as normal. This is why one of our key focus public safety priorities is an integrated traffic safety and education initiative. We're going to use data, technology, and infrastructure improvements and coordinated public education. This includes tools like what you already know as the automated speed enforcement in high-risk areas to expand school zones to protect our kids, and we're going to coordinate safety messages across the department to keep our public informed and engaged. Number 4, a focus on expanding keep it clean and safe to address the visible impacts of homelessness. What I love about Colorado Springs is that we are a compassionate city, and we're also a city that believes in order, safety, and shared responsibility. So this year, we will focus on expanding the Keep It Clean and Safe initiative into other key business districts across the city, building on what I believe is a successful downtown initiative where we take specialized homeless outreach initiatives and business engagement support. And we're going to expand that to some of these critical areas. Friends, I believe this is about our quality of life, and this is also about supporting businesses, and it's about restoring public spaces so our residents feel they're welcoming again. And also, it is about supporting our unhoused neighbors with immediate help and clear pathways to stability. Number 5, a focus on driving economic opportunity at Peak Innovation Park. Peak Innovation Park is one of our most exciting areas for new economic opportunities in our city. In 2026, we will focus on preparing the sites and infrastructure so that we can attract industries, quality jobs, and long-term growth. Just yesterday, we celebrated the groundbreaking of more than 250,000 square feet of office space, representing $63 million in investment. The future economy of Colorado Springs will run through Peak Innovation Park, and you're going to see me a lot out there this year in 2026. This park will help create high-paying and high-quality jobs, jobs that keep families here, help young professionals put down roots, address affordability challenges, create opportunity, and also important is generate new revenue so that we at the city can invest in your roads and public safety and parks and other services that our residents rely on. And lastly, number 6 is a focus on balanced growth. Our focus this year is going to be on growing wisely. Our focus this year is going to be on growing wisely. We're going to support bold ideas, but we're also going to be investing in our infrastructure and the vibrancy of our neighborhoods. In plain terms, we will keep welcoming growth, but we will do it with clearer rules, better coordination, and a stronger commitment to taking care of what we already have so our residents can see and feel the difference. Our first step for this deliverable is a refresh of Plan COS, which is our comprehensive plan that guides the future land use of our city. So there you have it. This is a snapshot of our 2026 priorities, the areas that I believe our residents will feel the greatest day-to-day impact. The full list of all 18 action items, again, are available on coloradosprings.gov, and just like in past years, we will report our progress publicly so that you can see it, you can track it, and you can hold us accountable. Friends, the city of Colorado Springs is moving forward in 2026 with immense focus. We will be focused on our fundamentals. We will be focused on balanced growth. We will be focused on partnerships that deliver real results. And we will be focused on advancing human flourishing. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your continued partnership as we work together to build a city that is safe, economically prosperous, culturally rich, welcoming, and a vibrant world-class American city on the hill that we call Colorado Springs. Thank you. Now I'd love to hear from you and what questions you have for me.
You mentioned about the homeless, hold on a second. Okay, started talking. You mentioned about the homeless and some of the things you're going to do, but can you go into detail? What are the things that you're planning to do this year with the homeless projects?
Yes, actually a couple of things. One I did not mention is we are taking a fresh approach. CSPD, Colorado Springs Police Department, is taking a fresh approach into how we leverage our officers to address homelessness, especially when it comes to criminal behavior. So we're doing a rearranging of our homeless outreach team and the downtown area response team efforts. So expect more on that to come soon. So we are rearranging to meet the needs of today. I'm proud of the work we've done up to this point, and that's what we do in city government. We look at the needs of today, and then we rearrange our operations. When it comes to the Keep It Clean and Safe program, we will most likely start with 2 or 3 critical areas across the city. That program is going to be focused on security. That it's a greater security presence. As you know, the state laws make it hard for our officers to do their job. So we are pivoting. So we're going to leverage our partnerships with security companies to ensure that our businesses feel safe, the customers in that area feel safe. So that's one part of it. And then we're going to send ambassadors and outreach team to ensure that we are pointing homeless residents to the services that are available. A third aspect of this is just continued partnership with our homeless providers. The city government itself is not a homeless provider, but we depend on the partnership with the Springs Rescue Mission, Hope COS, Catholic Charities, Homeward Pikes Peak, and beyond. And I'm really proud of the work that they do, and they continue to expand their services. The challenge is how do we get unhoused residents to take advantage of those services. And let me add a fourth, actually. We are reassessing how we those partnerships, and we're going to place a greater emphasis on exiting out of homelessness. It's not enough to just get people to take advantage of the services. It's important that they're exiting out of homelessness, and we're bringing them back to health and work and just a better quality of life. And partners like STEP COS are leading in that way in their 4-step program to get eventually people who are struggling with substance abuse out back into health, work, and flourishing in the community.
So with that being said, in the cleanup aspect,
yes.
you guys planning on doing more cleanups in the homeless camp cleanups this year? You're going to increase the number you did last year?
Yeah, to our efforts around homeless cleanups of homeless encampments. In 2025, we expanded the cleanup team. We also expanded the homeless outreach team of officers. That work continues. That success from last year continues. Our city is growing. If I had more resources, I would add more team members. But I'm proud that we were able to increase that efforts last year. This year's effort is going to be primarily the whole Keep It Clean and Safe program. We're looking at critical corridors where this is the intersection of commerce and homelessness. Last year, a number of business leaders reached out to me and said, "Mayor, we need help," and that is going to be our focus this year. Again, the intersection of commerce and homelessness, while we still do our cleanup efforts with homeless encampments. That work will still continue. That quarterly blitz that we do to address key areas will continue. And one of the things that you should also understand is as we do these cleanup efforts, sometimes it feels like a game of whack-a-mole. You know, we clean up and they move to other areas, and that is the new challenge that we're experiencing, hence why we have the Keep It Clean and Safe program to help businesses that are dealing with the new challenges around homelessness that they previously did not have.
You previously just said about hiring security. So the city has its own police department. Now you're going to hire
So the best way to, the city itself will not be taking that on. So again, would be in coordination with partners. The best example I can give you is Downtown Partnership. Downtown Partnership is a nonprofit, several nonprofit under the Downtown Partnership umbrella. The head of their security is a former deputy chief of the police department, Pat Rigdon. So they are administering those security services. It will be a similar effort where we'll be working with different partners, but we will be working closely with them. So when I say security, I'm not necessarily saying the city is going to be hiring security forces. And the number of security companies are already in town, and it would just be some kind of agreement that they take on to do some of those work on our behalf.
And then you mentioned also, pardon me, you weren't at the mayor or the police chief's press conference the other day about the real-time crime center.
Mm-hmm.
With the Amber Alert. But can you make comment about what the DA and the chief were talking about with the potential laws that are being proposed, how it would change how things could operate with exchanging information? With giving out information, sharing information between agencies. For instance, the Amber Alert happened.
Yeah.
We were able to pull the license plate reader information.
Oh, right.
Have that information, send it out, and how that will affect, as you said, with some of the laws that could be proposed as legislation session.
Well, let me separate those two conversations. One is the successes we're seeing around leveraging technology as a force multiplier to multiply impact, and that is one of the great wins of how we're able to find that 2-year-old boy from the Amber Alert. And I'm so proud of our officers. I'm so proud of the chief of police and a lot of the efforts. This is why from day one I've been pushing for innovation and technology. It actually helps us multiply our efforts, and that exchange of information, as you've identified, between departments and how we move from technology platform to technology to get ahead of it in record time. I often say that we can send a drone to a scene in 2 minutes faster than we can send an officer in a patrol vehicle on foot. So that will continue, and our work is not just limited to improving technology. There's also the challenge that we continuously deal with on the state level, and we need better laws that allow us that increases our ability to keep our community safe. So those two efforts we work simultaneously. One of the things I am most concerned about is the most recent ruling that came from the Colorado Supreme Court just over the holidays, that this is against a ruling in the city of Westminster and Aurora. But in a sense, what that came out of that ruling is that a local municipality, a local jurisdiction's laws cannot exceed what the state laws are. And so one of the local impacts for us is having to take a fresh look and scrub our city codes and make sure that more or less that we're bringing it down to match some of the state laws. And that's why our efforts on the state level is more important than ever today. It's always been important, but it truly does limit our police department, our law enforcement partners' ability to keep our community safe. So we have to do better in the state of Colorado. My deputy chief of staff is here, Ryan Trujillo. He helps lead some of our legislative effort. So expect us to be very actively engaged this year as we've had in the previous years.
Speaking of the legislature, I know one of the priorities that you and the other mayors with Denver and Loa had was about some of the AI legislation that's going
Right.
on. Can you talk about why that matters to Colorado Springs? Are you looking to bring more AI businesses and data centers and things like that to the city?
Absolutely. I would say those two are not necessarily connected. Our economic development team is doing incredible work when it comes to bringing businesses in Colorado Springs, aerospace, defense, innovation. We will continue to lean in and do a lot of that work. I am proud to report that of the 20 Colorado economic deals that were done last year, 8 of those were from Colorado Springs. So we are leading the state when it comes to bringing new businesses. I've had more economic development agreements in the 2-3 years I've being in office than any time in our city's history. So expect that to continue. When it comes to that AI legislation, my biggest concern, Brennan, is that the state of Colorado is trying to solve a problem that doesn't exist. AI is being looked at having some kind of bias. Now, is that something you should think about, the possibility of happening? Absolutely. But that is not the case. The president of the United States has been clear on how he wants to see AI in terms of how we leverage that technology to provide more opportunities for our country. And this legislation, potential legislation of what our legislators are doing in the state of Colorado, I feel like puts limits. It puts a ceiling. And the big thing I've been saying is I don't know what problem we are trying to solve. But that legislation more or less has to do with a potential bias that AI could introduce. And that's what our legislators are trying to solve. And as 3 mayors, we are pushing back on that. The governor himself is also pushing back on that as well.
And then could you specify what are the areas that you're looking to expand to keep it clean and safe into? Like what are those communities?
I knew you were going to ask that. I know what those areas are, but I'm not willing to say that publicly yet because we're still. We have a heat map. We know what the critical areas are. Not that, frankly, there's probably 6 or 7 of them. We're not able to do all of them right away. If you aim for everything, you aim for nothing. We are trying to start with a 2 to 3. We know what those are. Brandon, I asked you to give my team and I a couple of months to flesh that out, and then we'll get back to you and announce what those areas are. But I think you can probably fill in the blanks and know which areas. And I'll give you one of them. I'd say South Nevada is one of them. Especially from Dorchester Park all the way to Southgate. That is a critical corridor for us. And so we are addressing some of the homeless challenges, especially the intersection of homelessness and drug use and some of those things around Dorchester Park. So we've intensified our efforts there, but that whole corridor needs major attention. So that is one of them. Any other questions?
2C was approved by voters again. Any goals that you'd like us to know about with paving operations, especially since the city did hire more and more people
Right.
to help with paving operations?
So let me clarify 2 different things, but they're related. And that goes into our focus priority of street maintenance and potholes. And those 2 things are important. We did hire 13 more team members, so thank you for pointing that out. 13 more team members so that we can be faster in our response as residents report potholes. And I feel like it's a perfect time for me to do a PSA and say, please report those potholes. Download the app, go COS. Be our eyes on the road. That's our best ability to respond to those potholes. So yes, 13 more team members addressing potholes to increase our response time. 13 more team members too out there plowing your roads when there's a snowstorm. That work will continue, but I want to be clear that is a Band-Aid solution. That patchwork will break down and we'll have potholes again, and that is where 2C comes in. And I'm so proud of our residents for stepping up, for saying yes to not just another 5-year, but a 10-year investment, and that comes to about $820 million that will be reinvested in literally taking out a whole chunk and segment of road and repaving it, and that lasts longer, and that work will continue. We did 187 miles of repaving efforts last year. I expect the same amount this year or even more. If residents are interested in knowing what streets we're focusing on 2026, you can go on our website and it outlines our priorities. I have signed already some contracts and documents this year, so I can tell you that work will begin, especially once the weather starts getting better. But again, I just want to thank our residents for investing in their own flourishing.
Oh, one more.
Yes.
Sorry. Broncos, Patriots, what's your preference?
I think you know the answer to that.
What's the score?
Oh, the score. Ooh, if Bo Nix was still on, I probably would have had a better guess. Now I don't know. I will say everyone around me feels more hopeful about the Broncos' chances, but with Bo Nix being injured, I don't know. It's 50-50. So what's my score? Of course, Broncos going to win. Let's go with. Let's go with 28-25, Broncos winning.
Like 9-6.
Because of the defense?
The defense and the wind and the weather.
That's true.
They're both cold weather teams, though.
I mean, we played a team with strong defense, and we still ended up with 33-30. So it's who knows. But my biggest I think I'm gonna be in pins and needles as we watch how our backup quarterback does. Who has incredible, to his credit, he's really good. So let's see how this plays out. And then we got Nuggets and Avs, and I hope we win all. We bring all the championship for all three professional teams. How cool would that be? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. I like that last question.